Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? This is it. This is finally it. I am here to talk to you about the Stranger Summer Make-Along, the third annual Stranger Summer Make-Along. Oh, I'm so excited. This is definitely, without question, my favorite thing about summer, my favorite part of the year, unless there's a new season of Stranger Things being released, which there's not this year, so this is what we have, guys. This is what we have. So if you are new to my channel, you could probably still guess, have a good idea by the subject matter at hand, but I am a humongous fan of all things Stranger Things. I also crochet. I do some knitting, etc. And this is the Stranger Things Make-Along. Stranger Summer Make-Along, shall we say, actually. The idea behind it is, of course, inspired by Stranger Things. I did this last year. I did this the year before. The idea behind it is, obviously, if Stranger Things is your thing, to make something Stranger Things related. And there, if it's not, if Stranger Things itself is not your bag, stay tuned, because I do have a little side option for those who are not necessarily into the actual show. Stay tuned. But for those who are, to make things, items, recreative items from the show. There are loads of crocheted items in the show. I do believe I saw a knit item or two in the show also, here and there. There are definitely macrame items in the show. I'm not sure about weaving, but potentially there was weaving. I am supportive of all of the fiber arts. So whether you crochet, whether you knit, whether you weave, whether you macrame, whether you counted cross stitch, whether you cross stitch, whether you embroider, anything that has to do with Stranger Things in the fiber art world, that's all I'm asking you for, right? But it doesn't stop at recreating things from the show. Like when I talk about recreations, like as an example, because I have examples, because I've done examples. This is, if you've been around my channel, this would be the Hopper cabin blanket. It was in the scene in season, well, it made its appearance, I believe, in season 2, when, was it in season 2? Or was it season 1? It was definitely in season 2. It was folded up on the shelf for sure when Elle was found at the cabin and he'd been talking to Elle and stuff. When Hopper had been, it was there. It was predominant in season 3 after Gregory had the matchup with Hopper and he was covered up on the couch. It was the blanket covering him. It was also the blanket on the back of the chair that Jonathan was sitting in when all of the kids and Nancy and Jonathan were at the cabin, when Billy / Mind Flayer were communicating with Elle before the 4th of July fair. It was there. So it was there when the cabin, was getting destroyed by the Mind Flayer. It was also in season 4 when they returned to the cabin, and it was amongst the disheveledness of the cabin. So it is the best that I could put together from all of those different scenes. This is a recreation of the Hopper cabin blanket. So something like that, like there are loads of blankets there in different years. Like I had been meaning to do the blanket and pillow set that Nancy had in her room from season 1, but somebody else beat me to, I mean, not that I can't do it, but somebody else beat me to that. So that's been one that has been made. We've gotten the blanket from Mike's basement, the blanket from Argyle's van, which they're similar in nature. They're not the same blanket like I had previously thought. But not only that, but you could do like amigurumi, if that's your thing, of characters. Don't laugh at my amigurumi, guys. Don't do it. This was made from a pattern that I found. It was an Etsy pattern. If I can find it, I can link it. It was paid for pattern off Etsy, but this was a Demodog. I know he's derpy. I am well aware. I am happy enough that he stands. Usually he is in my downstairs room, hanging out behind me, as you will see in my videos. But yeah, there is like a Demodog amigurumi. But it doesn't have to be patterns that you purchase. Last year, I made this Eddie doll, and this was my own, just free-handed. I was very proud of this one. You guys, please don't make fun of my Eddie doll. You can laugh at him. I don't care. I was still very, very proud of him. But yeah, so anything, you know, freeform. His little vest does come off. I don't want to take it off because I'll probably murder him, but I even got like a little doll stand for him because I was so proud, because I would never have a doll stand otherwise. I don't make enough amigurumi to have things like that on hand, of course. But yeah, so things like that. I had my wonderful friend Amy. She made 2 different cross-stitch like plaques that said like Stranger Things and in a world full of 10s be an 11. So something like that was really cool, and it was Stranger Things related, so it doesn't have to be any of those things. Let me think. I can't think right now. but in my Facebook group, if you are a member, or if you care to be a member, if you have Facebook, there are the old threads from the 2 previous years that are the finished makes that people have made different things of. There has been Hopper amigurumi. Speaking of amigurumi, that was awesome. I believe that was from last year. There's been a multitude of amazing, amazing things. I've been so geeked, so impressed. And since the end of last year's, I have been just geeked thinking about this year's. I am doing this year, we'll see how this works out, but I don't know if you will recognize these colors. And if you've been around the channel, I don't know if you'll recognize them by the fact that I've been jonesing about this forever. But these Red Heart, they're just Red Heart Super Saver in the color Pale Yellow. And I'm using 2 held together, so I just use 2 skeins, because I'm pretty sure if I complete this, I'll be using like 10 skeins of it or something all together anyway. So why go through the trouble of like using end to end and that kind of thing? It's just annoying. But I'm going to be knitting, and it's not in the round. It's let's see, the end is here somewhere. The end is there. It is a blanket. I don't know if you can even see the pattern, but this is my very beginning. I had found, again on Etsy, and again, if you're interested, I will try to link it if it's still there, because a lot of vintage pattern sellers, the patterns come down often, either because they shouldn't be selling them, I guess, or they're not actually vintage and they are copyrighted still. I don't know the reasons, or just because they want to. I don't really know the reasons. Maybe they only put a certain number in and they sell out quickly. I don't know. But this, and it's not called Erica's Blanket. I call it Erica's Blanket because it is the one from season 2 in the scene where Dustin is looking for Lucas. No, sorry. The scene where Lucas is at Erica's room, and she has his He-Man making out with her Barbie doll. She's laying on her bed. There's also a scene where she's got his walkie-talkie and she's talking to Dustin when he's looking for Lucas. And she has this yellow blanket. I finally found it is a knit pattern. I am 99% sure this pattern. So since one of my goals also in my goals video was to recreate some season or some Stranger Things blankets still this year, this is going to be one of them. So this is what I'm working on. But yeah, I'm pretty excited that so far I have been okay with the pattern. We'll see how it goes. One of you lovelies offered to help make this dream a reality of having it if I can't do it. So I may end up emailing you and crying about it later. We'll see. But neither here nor there. But yeah, hopefully you get the gist by now. If Stranger Things isn't okay, well, continuing with the Stranger Things, actually, there is still more to go with that. It doesn't have to be any of the type of things that I have just mentioned. If you can convince me that it belonged in, like, say you want to make a blanket that you know would fit in Joyce's house because it fits her decor. Convince me that it does. Give me some kind of story that it does, and I am happy to accept that. That leads into, if Stranger Things is just not your cup of tea, if you know nothing about it, if you have no backstory, make me something vintage. Don't make it for me, you don't have to give it to me, but show me the picture of something very vintage looking, something from the 80s. I guess that'd be retro, right? Something from the 80s. You know the colors by now. You know the looks by now. I will like be dying if one of you guys makes this, but I have an actual macrame owl from like the 70s, 80s, and I found a pattern for a crocheted, and it looks macrame, you guys. It's a crochet macrame, so it's a faux macrame owl. I'm very excited. I think I want to try that too. But I digress. So, Stranger Things related item, something that belongs in the Stranger Things universe, or something vintage that could have been in the Stranger Things universe. If you don't know anything about Stranger Things, it is, like I said, fiber arts of all sorts are welcome. Anything that involves thread and up for yarn, macrame, embroidery and cross stitch, crochet, knitting, weaving, any of that good stuff. It's a make along, not a crochet along, not a knit along. It is a make along. It is going to last the entirety of summer starting on June 21st, 2023, and ending September 23rd, 2023. That's when the entrance will close. Generally, I tend to be a little bit late with my drawing, so you'll have an extra day or two, most likely, but officially it will end the last day of summer, which will be September 23rd. It'll depend on the number of entrants, how many prizes we do. They will be surprises. If we have a lot of entries, I will draw more than one. If we only have a couple, it'll probably be just one. I will open this worldwide, and yeah. It's not sponsored by YouTube. It's not sponsored by Netflix. It's not sponsored by anything to do with Stranger Things at all. It's not sponsored by any yarn company or anything. It is sponsored only by me, Heather, the Crochet Witch. Let's see, we discussed you must be 18 years old. 18 years of age. 18 years old or older to enter. I'm really excited about this, by the way. Stumbling over my words is normal, but I think I'm doing it more than usual. To enter officially, like I said, if you are a member or care to be a member of my Facebook group, please join the Facebook group, which will be conveniently linked down below. There's only like one question that you have to answer, but you do have to answer it, and you should be auto accepted into the group. We're a fun group, so even if you don't participate or make it to participate in this, I think that you will enjoy our fun group. I will have a thread. I will have 2 threads throughout the summer. One will be for your progress, if you want to just share like ideas, your progress, like you can do pictures of like how things are going along, chat about it and that kind of thing. And one will be for your finished makes. The finished makes is where I will be drawing for the prizes. So only finished items in there, or I will not count that as because I do the spinny wheel, I will not add your name if it's not a finished make. And that's where they have to be. They can't be posted just willy-nilly in the, like you can post it willy-nilly in the group if you want, but they have to be in there to be entered. And if you don't have Facebook, don't want it, or whatever the reason, you can email it to me. My email is also going to be linked down below, or you could Instagram it, private message me on Instagram. You could also hashtag onto Instagram too with the hashtag Stranger Summer Mal, or on Facebook or on social media of any type, but I won't be like making drawings from that. Like the 2 ways to enter would be on Facebook or to message me directly, and I would add you to the drawing that way. Plus I really want to make sure that I see your makes, because I'm really excited about that, and I'm not going to go searching through all of social media ever when it's time to do it. So to make sure you get the entry in, Facebook group or directly email me would be the best way. I think, since I'm opening it worldwide, your country must be able to receive prizes from me, and you would be responsible for any fees or any like duty fees or anything like that, taxes that are like, once I ship it, and it's on its way to you, and that is your responsibility once it is out of my hands. And I believe that does cover all the rules. So yeah, like I said, I hope that you guys are inspired to do something fun with me. I will check in and let you know how the Erica blanket is coming along. Feel free, like I said, to message me or post in the Facebook threads when I get them up how yours are coming along, or your ideas, or whatever, that you'd like to share with us. And yeah, let's have a really fun summer, you guys. I am so excited to see the things that you make, and I'm really excited. If you can't tell, I'm really excited. So, all right. I love you guys so, so much. Yeah, I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.